Power of 100, the story of the 100 black men of Greater South Bend, has been underwritten by Memorial Hospital and Health System, dedicated to serving our community and connecting through the sharing of information about all different cultural experiences.
Additional underwriting provided by First Source Bank,
Pfeiffer, Morgan, and Stasiak,
Indiana University South Bend, Ernestine Racklin School of the Arts,
Indiana University South Bend, Department of History,
the Center for Hospice Care,
and Lexus of Mishawaka,
and by Alex Home Medical,
Bethel College,
and Ivy Tech Community College.
I truly see that our young African American males are being raised by single women. Therefore, I think that any time that you've got groups, something similar to 100 Black, a group of male that are willing to step in and to put a male image or a male figure in front of these kids, it's always a positive.
We do not have a culture of failure. I think somewhere along the line, people got mixed up in terms of what was success and what was failure. And we are working with these young men to let them understand that because you're African American, you are not destined to failure.
It's showing them that there are, as role models, that there are people just like them who are very successful. Because we go over elements of Black history that they have nothing to be embarrassed about as being an Afro-American.
I mean, just to see these men up in there, that these positive men just being so positive, and I'm sitting there like, wow, where were y'all at? When my son, my oldest son, if he'd have had that, I bet you a lot of things would have been so different.
We want to do good in our community. We want to do good in mentoring. We want to do good in economic development. We want to do it in education and health and well-being. We all have that burning sensation that we want to do, and we want to excel more.
This is our introduction to the community, to say that there are many of us that care deeply about this community and are looking for ways to make it a better place. So that's what I'm hoping outside will get and expect of us. Inside, the youngsters in particular, one of our mottos is, what they see is what they'll be. And I'm hoping that they will see something that attracts them, to say that there are successful people that look like them.
And so if we're going to make an impact in the lives of people, we have to meet them where they are. And that's how the 100 intends to engage the community.
The Academy is really about making a difference in the lives of young men in the Greater South Bend area. We have a lot of problems, a lot of things to deal with. We and 100 Black men started the Freedman Academy because we said we're going to start with 30 young men. And we're going to work with those young men to deal with the problems they have. And when you don't have confidence in yourself, that causes you not to be able to achieve. So the rule here, now that we've had this class and we had the discussion today, the rule here is that when you talk to anyone and then going forward, any of us, you look them in the eye.
The Freedman Academy is helping these young children in several ways. One is it's showing them that there are, as role models, that there are people just like them who are very successful. I think, two, it shows them the importance of education. Third, I think that it shows them, because we go over elements of Black history, that they have nothing to be embarrassed about as being an Afro-American.
Your grades reflect everything that you do. Not what the teacher does, not what mom does, not what happens at home, but what you do. If you don't put forth any effort, you're going to get a 5 or 10 cent grade. And a 5 or 10 cent grade is going to give you a 5 or 10 cent life. And nobody in here wants to be poor. Nobody in here wants their lights off. It's cold outside. What if you woke up this morning and there was no heat in your house? You don't want that, okay? So guys, whatever the problems are with your report cards that you're having, go back these next 9 weeks and make a concentrated effort to find out why I'm not happy with my report card and what am I going to do about it.
I think when we assume that kids get the fundamentals, we really, we're making a huge assumption. The bottom line is that a lot of the kids that come through this program or that are in the school systems are probably that close to being successful. It's just a matter of them really harnessing the basics. And so we don't do anything extraordinary at the academy. We're going over the basics as we talked about, communication, self-esteem, self-confidence, and those things really, I think, project to people's success.
I saw Anthony Doodley early in this exercise. I want you, Anthony, to let me know what you're going to be doing in 2025.
I thought y'all meant like 20 years to 25 years. They got me confused.
Close your eyes and think for about 1 minute where you want to be when you're 30 years old.
After high school, I'd like to graduate from college, getting a degree in medical science.
How many plan to be athletes?
So let me see here. Okay, NBA, NFL, NBA, NFL, NBA, NFL. You guys all gonna be on the same team?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you cannot become an NFL player. Not at all. I hope you do. But that backup plan of becoming a police officer, I want you to really hit the grind, hit the pavement on that one. Today we're talking about goal setting, and if you notice, we got a lot of people who want to be LeBron James. We got a lot of people who want to be Vince Young or Michael Vick or Peyton Manning. And the thing is, that's fine. Shoot for the moon. If that's your dream, your goal, hey, I support you 100%. But at the same time, there's a thing called reality that a lot of people do not instill in their kids. There has to be a realistic or reality side that they need to see. They need to, open their eyes to it. What comes along with that? Hard work, determination, preparation, and the key word, discipline. That's what we need to instill in our young people today. Discipline. Not just to become a pro athlete, but to become a doctor, to become an engineer, to become a school teacher. Anything that you want to be in this life, it takes those key things. And that's what we need to continue to teach our kids.
This is the room of doom. I cause y'all to beware. They don't keep stuff clean to stay room, and it's junky.
One of the kids that are in our program in our 2nd through 4th grade area is Anthony Watts. And a little fella that I've kind of gotten to know the last couple of years here in school, 2nd, 3rd, now he's in the 4th grade. Anthony has always impressed me as a very young man that wants something. He seems to I know that he's got a gift for drawing. One day I walked into his class when he was in the 3rd grade and he gave me this picture, and I've still got that picture at home on my wall in my study. And he had just sit up in class and he had drawn an image of me. And when I asked Anthony what was that all about, he says, "Mr. Cheney, this is what I think about you." Whether the picture was bad, good, or indifferent, I thought it was great, okay?
Well, I got my oldest son, Rasheen. He's 19 now. That's my trouble child. He gets in a little bit of trouble here and there. He's trying to do better now. Then I have John. He's 14, but his nickname is Bubba. We all call him Bubba. And then we have Little Man, which is Anthony. We call him Little Man. Of course, you can see why. He's so small, but yeah, they good kids overall. I mean, nasty. They not the cleanest kids, but they good kids. So I don't have really too much of a problem with them. Besides telling them to clean up their room.
I like math because it got a lot of stuff in it, and my favorite teacher is Miss Easter and Miss Mentees. They're real nice.
I got 3 daughters. I got the Brady Bunch. 3 daughters, 3 sons.
Sanaya, she act grown, the little one. Jakaria, spoiled. Kiki, acts cute.
When I get up, basically everybody ready in the house. My husband, he's fed the kids and stuff and getting them ready for school or whatever. So when I get up, it's time to hit the door and go on with our day. So that's pretty much how it go. It's a routine type of thing. Just go to work, go to school, come home, get ready for the next day, and pretty much lay back on Saturday and Sunday and just get a little rest for the week ahead. I mean, these days and times, there's not much time to play or nothing like that. Just basically just working and making sure these kids go to sleep at a decent time to get ready for school the next day. But that's pretty much what we do.
Anthony's a great kid. He has a lot of enthusiasm about him. He's a great dancer, which is great that he's bold enough to dance in front of the kids. Academically, he has some issues. You know, he's fallen behind academically with math and basic computation skills. He does get some assistance in speech from our speech teacher here once a week, and he just needs to read a lot more. You know, he needs to be exposed more to more literature and more books than he ever has before. For Anthony to make it, I see his future as he has some opportunity in front of him, but he has to take on some opportunity of doing a little more time with his schoolwork. He would need a mentor or somebody else helping looking after him. He has to watch out what he does on the streets out here in the neighborhood, because the neighborhood's a tough neighborhood.
This is the place where I think the block would be a lot better if this wasn't there. It has calmed down a lot from what it was, but for the most part, yeah, we was having some problems over here, but it seemed to be getting a little bit better.
All this over here is like Miami here, there be a lot of cops over there.
All the time, yeah.
And you hear shots and everything, street racers.
So now once you got this camera in your hand and you holding it up and you getting ready to start shooting people, how did they act? How did everybody start acting? Now I know they weren't just sitting there calm like they normally do, and they're waiting for you to shoot them. How was they acting?
Hyper.
Pretty much all my kids do pretty good in school. I have a little problems with Anthony, but he tries, so I can't be mad at him because he really do try his best to, you know, to do his school assignments and stuff like that. It's just a little bit harder on him. So and you too. So we try to get him a little help.
The only problem with me is freedom. I can't pronounce the word right.
I think that one day, with the right mentoring outside of his family life, I think that his family life is great, but just something that he can see a little bit different than his normal home life, being pushed by some positive African-American male would be great for Anthony. I can't say this about his mom. She has always been very helpful in anything that we want to do with Anthony. She's always wanted to put Anthony into positive programs.
I can see them being something, you know, especially Anthony. I mean, he is like the jokester in the house. He can make you laugh. I mean, you know, and at the same time, he's one of my kids that he could tell when something bothering me or something like that, and he'll sit there, and I mean, I'm serious when I could tell you that my kids would cry with me. They would cry with me, you know, and laugh with me. I mean, he is the type of kid that, you know, anything to make you laugh, he'll do it.
My name is Isaac Hunt, and one of the founding board members of Xavier Charter School. We had a similar programs to this when we were younger, and the YMCA did it, and it was Charles Martin who ran the program. And he implemented it and came up with and started the Upper Bound program. So we got an opportunity to see men that were went to school, who was educated, who was married, who took care of their children. So it helped us to be able to see this is the direction in which we needed to go. Right now, the academy is going real well. You know, the kids are really taking part in it. They're really enjoying it. They're participating, and it seems as if they can't wait till the next session when it's time for the next Saturday to come around to be involved in it again. These kids will learn from us, and they'll be able to pass it down to other people when they get a little older. Yeah, so this is going real well.
Here's what I want you to do for me. I want you to create a notebook. I want the names of the schools that you talk to. And then for each school, I want an outcome. Fill out an application, and then we're going to track the outcome.
Many of these young men have never been to a college fair, so I think they're experiencing a little anxiety at first. We have noticed since they've walked through the doors is that they begin to relax.
They gave me a lot of valuable information about what college they represent, what they're looking for in a student, and the professionalism that a student should show.
What I really was expecting was to go in there, do my thing, and bring home a scholarship.
Well, you know, the experience was great. You know, seeing all these different colleges, you know, from Drake to Grand Valley State to Ohio State to Michigan, you know, all these different colleges, you know, you get to experience how it feels to get interviewed and chance for scholarships and qualities and requirements, things like that. So you will know how it is to get to the next level.
I've committed to be with these kids, particularly in the track that I manage. I manage the 9 through 12 track. I've committed to work with them, to be there all the time, and I think the ultimate satisfaction for me would be to have these kids come back as successful adults and participate in our program as mentors.
My name is Ray Turner, and I'm a school social worker with the South Bend Community School Corporation.
You know, the place that I'm at is because of the contributions of many in my life. But one of the things I didn't have the consistency. I was raised in a single-parent home. My dad died when I was 5 years of age. But I had people in my neighborhood. And during the time I grew up, I had Mr. Newsom, who was my 7th grade teacher. I had Mr. King, who was my homeroom teacher. I had Mr. Johnson, who was the gym teacher. And during that particular time, especially during the 60s, 50s and 60s, for many African-American men, really education was the means of expressing their leadership. We weren't as much in business. We weren't as much in other areas that you see us
pretty much in all over. But so much of the energy in terms of leadership was in the educational field. And so I was able to glean from all of those people, from those men, and kind of build into my own life. Motor sales opened for business on December 4th, 1939. Studebaker eventually went out of business. However, in November of 1963, Ed Davis became the first African American to own a new car dealership for one of the big three. That's Chrysler, Ford, and General Motors, when he opened his Chrysler dealership in Detroit.
One of the things that, the unfortunate thing that's happening more and more is that we're not teaching African American history. When I was growing up during the 60s and during the 70s, there was much more emphasis on African American history, where we could see how, in fact, African Americans had made positive contributions and continue to make positive contributions to our society. It's an enriching experience. But if children don't know and don't see themselves in those roles, it becomes difficult to then identify and even project themselves. And we don't, that becomes a barrier. Why should that be a barrier? Why should that be an obstacle? We have an obligation to teach them the richness of their past, the richness of the contributions that African Americans have made to this society. Well, one of the things we want them to take away, I think, to work hard to make things happen, and to understand that time is something that you can't get back. Once you lose time, you can never get time back. And so it's critical to take advantage of the opportunities that you have. And at the same time, for these men here, who have been, many of them have been extremely successful in their life, for them to be able to build back into the life of these young men is extremely critical to raise their level of consciousness as well as their skill level.
Well, a lot of the young men that we're helping are either fathers are not there involved, single parents, or they're living in lower echelons of life, and they need a hand up in life to be able to see African American men who are doing things that's positive.
If you're known and you're doing what's right and you're being respectful to others and and the authorities that are over you, then that's pretty much successful. It's not really all about the money either. Being successful is being what you want to be, pretty much. I love basketball. That's just something I love to do. I love hanging out with friends, going to the park. I love texting, talking on the phone, talking to girls, chilling with my guy friends. I like going to school, talking to friends. School, not because of the homework and all that other stuff. I mean, that's good for me, but I definitely do need help in that area because my mind's not on school, to be honest.
That's true.
My mind is on, I guess, other things. I don't want to do schoolwork, to be honest, but now I have to. But back then, I would do schoolwork when I felt like it, when I felt I needed to do schoolwork. But now I need to do schoolwork to get my grades up so that I can graduate and go to high school. Well, I'm just nice because we're going to church today. When we get there, I'll tell you more about it. This is my sister, Brianna Child Pitchford. She is 9 going on 10 years old. She goes to Xavier Academy. She's going to be a doctor when she grows up. She's going to be a doctor when she grows up. Has a little attitude problem, but so do I. Oh, she hit me. This is my mom.
Hi, Cameron.
And what church do you go to?
I go to River of Life Family Church. I also work, do administrative work at the River of Life.
That's a sanctuary. It's kind of loud in here. That's Cora. This was my best bro until something happened between a stupid Valentine's Day present.
Yeah, but we're still best bros, though.
Yeah, but we can't talk, even though we're talking. Elder Kiwana. There's Deacon Isaac.
What school y'all go to?
That's Minister Timothy.
That's all right.
Right there. Here's one of my friends, Sarita. Say hi to camera, Chris. Hey, Mert. That's Denisha. Another friend. That's Dre, my other best bro. I'm not even saying nothing bad, little dude. Why is you hating? He hating. And that's me. Right here. Another interest of mine is probably hanging with my dad when I have time, you know.
Me and my husband were separated. We've been separated for a little over a year, or about a year. And there are many things that I've been doing on my own. Yes, providing for the house and watching after the kids and doing everything that's connected also with my faith.
My dad's not in the house right now. That's why you don't see him. We live in two different places, I guess I would say. I really don't know where he's located right now, but we don't live in the same home. So that's his loss, I guess.
A man can choose to be just like every other man, but if a man chooses not to be, he's already decided to be strong. And then if he decides that he wants to be a man of truth and that he doesn't care who likes it and who doesn't like it, he's decided to put up his fist. He has. And, you know, a fight for a man is much different than a fight for a woman. But we need men who fight. We do. So I need my son around men who fight what should be fought, so that he can see examples. I need a son that's going to be courageous.
A person who does nothing receives nothing. A person who works hard and strives for the right things in life and stands up for his wife and his family, you know, and has some morals and a value, really becomes somebody that can do something and accomplish something in life.
The 100 black men, I think they're very, very positive men. You know, just by caring, when I went and seen them, I seen doctors and lawyers and teachers and, you know, all type of professionals there who just wanted to spend time with kids, you know, who just wanted to be an example. And I think that inspired me to, you know, want to be better.
I don't mind my son being involved with anything that he's ready for, ready to make the right decision for himself.
David has been going through some personal issues as far as his family life and the situation at home. So he's kind of been acting out, you know, and that basically is an attempt screaming for help.
I could still make a mistake, you know, because, like, nobody's perfect, but, you know, sometimes I'm tempted to do stuff.
There was times when he was texting and late, you know, at night and being not honest with me about it. The dishonesty I don't know how other mothers feel, but it breaks my heart. I have to have a relationship with my son, and I need to know that what he tells me is what's going on.
If I want something, I want to take it, you know. If I want something, I want to take it. Like, I don't know, little things, candy at the store. It's like, ooh, there's no alarms or anything when you walk out the store with it, but I've never done anything like that because, you know, I don't want to get in trouble, and that would make me a thief, and then I would make my reputation bad.
I see David as a young man who's trying to find himself at this point in time in life, who knows the difference between right and wrong, sometimes make the wrong decision, but wrong is the decision brings on lessons. And I see when he makes a mistake, he tries to learn from it. But I think as long as I stay in David's life, the 100 stays in David's life, his bishop stays in his life, his mother stays in his life, his father stays in his life, David's going to be all right.
My name is Arnold Sally. My position within the 100 Black Men of South Bend is the Vice President of Operations. Guys are different in the barbershop. Guys are guys in the barbershop. They change a little bit when a lady comes in. But guys are guys in the barbershop. And that's the good, bad, and the ugly. But there's some real good stuff that takes place here. We challenge one another, and we rib one another. And I think you cannot accept it if you're not getting some kind of hazing and ribbing, because they rib everybody and haze everybody that they like.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So you made some disciples along the way.
It's important to understand that you have a very rich heritage, and I think in many instances the kids don't understand how rich their heritage is. African American heritage is second to none, but it isn't talked about enough. And we have to take responsibility for that, because when kids see the number of things that have been accomplished by African Americans in the past, I think it sets the bar higher, and the expectation higher, to know that we've done great things, and we'll continue to do great things with their help. We're building our foundation, and building the foundation is really kind of slow, and it very often isn't very attractive. It's like constructing a building and digging the basement and pouring the foundation. And we're doing a number of those things now. And so it may appear from the outside that we're not doing anything, but we're trying to make sure that we have a real strong foundation, a solid foundation, so that we can be the resource in this community that I expect us to be, and the guys that have come around the table expect us to be. And then there are a few parents, they're just fantastic, because they're always there, and they're trying to find out what else they can do. And those kids, you can see the difference in those kids when the parents are there. There are some that are responding some of the time, and I don't think they're aware of the importance that they play in their kids' education and how important it is for them to be an integral part of it. So it's been real rewarding on a number of levels, just not 100% success like we'd hoped. Yeah, we were too idealistic initially. It was like we were going to come in and we were going to be able to put our arms around these kids and solve the problems, not realizing we didn't understand how big the problem was.
Howard Buchanan II. I am the fire chief here of the South Bend Fire Department. My career has just been just a wonderful success. I mean, this job is one of the best jobs, the best kept secret in the world, one of the best jobs in the world. And what's making it so good, because you're dealing with people, you're helping people, and every day you do something different. I have never done the same thing. Every day is always something different than what you do the next day, and that's what makes this job so enjoyable to me. I love it. My mom, she was dynamite. It was my mom really. She always taught me to be kind and treat everybody with respect. And if you treat people with respect, they will always try to give you respect. And she always said, well, keep a smile on your face all the time. Because if you got a smile, a lot of people don't know what you're thinking, if you're mad or not, but always keep a smile on your face. So I've always taken that people that know me, that I will come in and I will just start greeting everybody like, hi, how you doing, what's going on? And it just to be a happy person all the time. And I think that I got that from her. To be in the 100 is just to be around all those gentlemen that are doing so well in life, and from where they come and where they are now, and just being a part of that is just it's just unbelievable. When they first talked about getting together and we all got together and was looking around the room, it's just like, man, this is what I want to be a part of. These gentlemen are the resources that we have in that club is just unbelievable. The feeling that they have, and everybody's goal is the same, is that We want to do good in our community. We want to do good in mentoring. We want to do good in economic development. We want to do it in education and health and well-being. We all have that burning sensation that we want to do, and we want to excel more. We have a good, warm togetherness, and everybody is on the same page and wants to do well.
We talk to you about this all the time. Your behavior has got to get together, man. Okay? And I know for a fact that what we've been talking about this week, after a couple more days of it in your system, you're going to be okay. All right? But until then, you've got to put forth some effort to try and get it together yourself. Do you understand?
We're running headlong into some issues we see.
Will you please stand up, please? No. Stand up. I'm asking you please to stand up.
Yeah, let's go in the other room for a few minutes. I'm not going to hold your hand, but let's go.
I deal with children every day, so I know that they will always challenge you, and we can expect challenges. That's how people grow.
Now, the name of this poem is what?
Cocaine.
Cocaine. Cocaine is an illegal drug, isn't it?
Smoking, we know, is definitely related with cancer.
Why does a person use alcohol?
How many of you have had other people offer you some marijuana? Raise your hand. All right.
How do you know someone's drinking? Especially someone who's been drinking for a while.
It smells on their breath, it breaks.
It comes out their pores.
Yes, that kind of like the sweat, when they sweat.
Nicotine is an active drug, and tobacco is the most widely used drug in the world.
Drugs, both legal and illegal drugs, are not good for you.
I've had crack addicts who go out in the cold weather, freezing temperature, no clothes on, just to get crack.
You have to remind yourself that, hey, they're all going to learn at their own pace. And when you realize they're going to learn at their own pace, then you're more tolerant, you're more understanding.
A real man don't run from his family and drink to solve his problem.
They yell too much.
Once you believe in yourself, then you can develop and grow. And it's the same thing with everything else in life. Unfortunately, a lot of the environments the kids come from, that's not reinforced. And so somebody's got to be able to do it. And I just like the idea of an organization of black men stepping up and taking responsibility for our young men.
Humans by nature are sexual beings, okay? Now, the thing is, these traits and these qualities, male and female, different, most certainly. What is puberty?
Pimples all around the face. Getting older too fast.
Getting older too fast? Physical, on her body. What are we looking at? What looks good to you? What do you think? What do you think guys are looking at? Or feet? Should have pretty ankles or knees or something. Oh, her butt. Okay, now we getting there. There's something more important than just the way a woman looks.
Their personality.
Man, say that again.
Personality.
What you gotta understand about sex is everything and anything we do in life, there's a consequence to it. Whether it's a good one or a bad one.
I'm Perry Watson III, and I'm the chairman of the Economic Development Committee.
Let's talk about the positive, first of all. I think for a group of diverse men to come together, to be working together, and a lot of us have never worked together in a group, I think it's going phenomenal. I think people are really committed, but just like most organizations, you've got a number of people doing the work right now. What we're trying to do is trying to get more people involved, trying to come up with different programs. We're looking at maybe bringing a junior achievement component in, some tutoring. We're talking about a literacy boot camp this summer. So that will bring other members in where they can't do Saturday, but to get them involved. So I'm just really, really blown away at the talent we have and everybody's story. I mean, in these sessions, we share a lot, and I'm hearing about everybody's story of something they've overcome and the success they've had, which is really great. And we've got some outstanding talent, expertise in the group. I guess the downside is that the young men that we're mentoring, the 9th through 12th, I never thought it would be so hard just to get them to show up. We've had a core of 10 students. From time to time, they don't show up. You call the parents, they don't show up. Academically, for example, the 4 last Saturdays, of the 4, only 1 had passing grades. I would liken it to gardening, where you pick up a rock, and once you pick the rock up, you see all of the things moving underneath that just blows your mind. That's really where we are. We picked up the rock, and what we see are a lot of things that we really need. We've got to save the kids at risk. We've got to stop the bleeding, if you will. If we can stop those kids from dropping out, if we can help the mothers through role modeling, and some of the young men see successful African American men, I think that's got to be at the core of what we do. We would love to be one day to say that we came in and we saved or helped the lives of a lot of young men in this community. That would be a great legacy, but right now it's too early to come to that conclusion.
Hello, my name is Christopher Maxwell, and I'm a 7th grader at Edison Intermediate. Go to my teacher, Miss Kennedy.
Hello.
This is John. I enjoy hanging out with my friends. Stop!
No.
You know, I get to just act crazy, have fun with them.
Oh, what's up, man?
This right here is octopus. I am freaking out. Doesn't look too good. Looks kind of scary. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Okay, this is where my mom works. South Bend Clinic. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Long hallway. I'm trying to become a doctor when I grow up. I've seen my mom and how she's been in the medical field most of my life, and it's grown on me, and I want to help people just like her. So I like to become a doctor or maybe a chef because I like to cook, and that's fun for me when I have like free time. I wear a rest for it.
Everything that you cook, you have to realize when you look at the bag, it's going to explain to you how to cook it.
Yeah, I also love to draw. I like drawing it, like it's calming for me.
Hi, my name is Danita, and I'm Chris's mom.
Chris is actually raised by a single mother who works at South Bend Clinic, and she seems to be mother, father, friend, brother, everything to Chris and everything else.
Well, when I first started at the 100 Black Men program, Mr. McLeod had introduced himself to me, and we got to know each other so far, and he's been my mentor throughout like the different sessions we've had. So he's been a good influence on me there at the 100 Black Men program.
Chris Maxwell is an absolutely fabulous young man. Very mannerly, quiet, well-spoken, and he seems to be very focused on what he wants to be. Chris was actually brought to the academy by Dr. Lyons.
2 Sundays ago, me and Dr. Lyons went to Lake Michigan, and me, Dr. Lyons, and one of his friends went on a boat to fish. He thought it'd be really cool to get me out, talk, have some fun, so we had went fishing. My first experience actually fishing on a boat, so that was really fun. We caught 2 fish, and afterwards me and him just had a one-on-one, like we were talking about like how he wants me to become what I want to be and what I need to be for when I grow up, and how to be a man.
But what really hurts is to see us fall back into the low expectations that everybody else has for us. Since we're being honest, I'm just putting it out there. As Afro-American men, we are not expected to do anything. Where you are right now does not define who you are or what you're going to do. As I look at each one of you, all I see is potential. You have to have a vision greater than what you are. You have to recognize that more is expected of you, but if you don't take the responsibility of being an Afro-American male, if we keep doing what we're doing, if we only put in minimal effort, if we just show up, if we don't show up, then we are setting ourselves up for absolute failure.
I have pretty good friends. I hang around good people. It's nothing bad or that'll keep me in trouble. And then I have my mom, because she'll get on my case of hanging around the wrong people.
I'm on him like a hawk. I definitely monitors what he watches on TV. There's no rated R, there's nothing inappropriate. Phone calls, he has phone calls within a certain time span. He goes to bed at a certain time. Everything in our household is pretty much on a schedule. I don't want it to sound like a warden, but pretty much he's a good kid, and kids do things or they think about doing things, so I just have to make sure that my second eye is on him as well. So.
After I'd become successful, I'd like to join the 100 Black Men and help other preteens and teenagers to understand what becoming a man is, how to deal with life, get to know them, and just show them my experience that I had when I was little, and then help them, be there for them.
We feel strongly that Chris is going to be one of our superstars, and there's no way we're going to let Chris off the hook.
Well, I spent 35 years working at Fortune 100 Corporation, Whirlpool Corporation. When I retired, I was National Director of Independent Retail Sales, and was primarily responsible for about $3 billion in business.
You'll be in church tomorrow? I'll be in church tomorrow. I sure will. Yeah. You might be too tired to be in church. I'm going to be there, though. Okay, then. You two are not there. I miss you. Oh, God bless your heart. We love you for that.
I have the honor to be president of the organization. All in all, I'm pleased, I'm gratified with the support of our chapter members. I mean, they really turned out. You know, it's a sacrifice to give up 3 hours, 4 hours every other Saturday and your Saturday morning, but we consistently had 15 or 20 members come out and work at our Freedman Academy and you know, mentor the youth. Brothers, thanks again for coming this evening to just kind of close the loop on some things that we've been working on, and looking forward to some feedback and recommendations on how we can make things better going into our fall programming period.
While we're speaking on some of the successes from our Freedman Academy, there was a young man that we had, and I don't mind giving his name because I've had the approval from his mother, and that's Anthony. And he was quite a challenge to us when he came into or began the 3rd grade. But again, I think the most important thing that helped us turn Anthony around was the parental involvement piece. Getting his mom involved and also his dad involved helped us a whole lot, because once we got them engaged and let them know what we were doing, they let us know what they were doing with him at home. The combination of the two is what made Anthony the person that he is today.
Another one of our successes was David Pittsford. We had been the 5th and 8th grade group at the Freedman Academy, and David was going through some issues where his father was gone, so he was blaming himself for those type of things. So he kind of took it out not just on himself, but his sister and his total environment. Because of the Freedman Academy, David is now going on to the high school, and his grades went up. So it's really a blessing, and it's really a result of what happened in the Freedman Academy.
Well, Chris Maxwell, who's in 5th to 8th group, wonderful young man, and he's probably the ideal person that we would probably find in any setting that we have here in terms of where he's going. This is a person that it will be very beneficial for us, for us as 100 black men to be able to be on top of a mentor, because he could go very far. His intentions in becoming a doctor, and there's no wavering in that.
Okay, I'm really excited about the success that we had with the seniors, because I know in our planning committee we were a little concerned about what age group we were going to look at, because we felt that we weren't going to have enough time to spend with them. But the college trip to Chicago, I understand, was really successful, that out of the 11 Washington High School students that went, all 11 are in college. That's really wonderful.
Oh, wow.
Well, there were some surprises because we were hoping to have a positive impact on the children, the mentees. But from some of the feedback we've gotten is that we've really had a good influence on the parents, specifically some of the fathers. I know they've related to some of our members that we've kind of inspired them and motivated them to step up and be better fathers and be more involved in their children's lives. And that was not anticipated, but it was very rewarding when we saw that type of reaction. Like I said, all in all, I think it was a very good year, and we're excited, and we're looking forward to doing bigger and better things.
We start first by good role models, by being good role models, but also through providing instruction on how to be successful.
I have a passion to assist those because someone assisted and helped me out, and so I like to consider myself having a responsibility to reach back and help others.
Well, he looks up to him. I mean, he's a very influential kid, so it's nothing for him to, latch on and be like, wow, you can impress him very easily. And it's important that he see that positive stuff, because I want that to be instilled in him.
The young men that were here today, there's just so much potential and so much promise there. And so I'm excited.
We talked about adopting maybe the Junior Achievement Academy program, focusing on life and social skills, and we talked about those skills that's important for their development.
He doesn't have a father around, and he's been raised with majority women, which is a good thing to an extent, but I think every boy needs to have positive male role models, and these fellas here, they're all professional, positive men.
I'm not going to be the type of person that's going to sit around. I just want to be a person who's giving back, because this is something that I always wanted to do, and it's something that I have a passion for.
We're helping the family grow. We're helping young people start thinking about financial education early on, so that they're not running up charge cards and spending money they don't have.
The wolves are out there to get them when they're small, and if you don't start talking to them and putting being involved with what they're doing, you'll lose them. And
and I'm not trying to move my son to the streets.
They have to understand that there's a consequence to every decision that they make. And I think if we can help them to understand what those decisions will look like in the beginning and where they should begin to be made, I think it's critical for them.
You know, just by caring, when I went and seen them, I seen doctors and lawyers and teachers and, you know, all type of professionals there who just wanted to spend time with kids, you know, who just wanted to be an example. And I think that inspired me to, you know, want to be better, want to do better, you know. So that's what they did to me.
Just move on up to a greater day. With just a little faith, if you put your mind to it, you can surely do it. Just move on up. Move on up. We move on up. Watch out, we just move on up. We move on up. Move on up.
Power of 100, the story of the 100 black men of Greater South Bend, has been underwritten by Memorial Hospital and Health System, dedicated to serving our community and connecting through the sharing of information about all different cultural experiences.
Additional underwriting provided by First Source Bank,
Pfeiffer, Morgan, and Stasiak,
Indiana University South Bend, Ernestine Racklin School of the Arts,
Indiana University South Bend, Department of History,
the Center for Hospice Care,
and Lexus of Mishawaka,
and by Alex Home Medical,
Bethel College,
and Ivy Tech Community College.